Welcome to Damo's health and fitness journey video. Today we're going to film a video, pretty much zero equipment and a beginner video. We'll have a couple of different levels of beginner, starting from literally never exercised in your life before to just a little bit above that. So we're just going to go for a walk to warm the body up a little bit. And I just want to talk about why exercise is important. Some people think, you get one life, enjoy it. And that's why exercise is important, even if you don't enjoy it to start with. The key to life, especially as you get older, is to enjoy your life as much as possible when you're older. And to do that, you need to be physically strong and fit. So people say, oh, you're going to die anyway. Does it really make you live longer? For some people, yeah, definitely, exercise will help them live longer. For other people, it might not help them live much longer, but it'll give them a better quality of life when they're older. And that is the most valuable thing you can do. So we're going to start by saying 10 or 15 minutes every single day, just something to give yourself some strength, some targeted body area strength. So that'll be your legs, core, and some upper body strength. They're the main three focuses. There's other focuses, but your main three ones are going to be strong legs, strong core, and strong upper body. Legs, you live on them. Unless you sit in a truck all day, I get that. That's where a strong core comes in. Sitting in a truck, bracing your core, holding yourself upright. Legs, getting out, unloading, loading, walking, everything outside of a truck you do on your legs. And upper body, same sort of thing. Grip strength's really important. Carrying groceries for some people might be all you need. How good's this view along the Murray River, where we're going for a walk before we do a little training session. Shoulder strength, lifting stuff above your head, reaching for things. The list is endless on the things you need to do and why having some strength is important. I'm not talking about Ronnie Coleman, Arnold Schwarzenegger strength. I'm talking about everyday, daily life, everyday tasks. And again, for me, this journey was about being healthier as I get older. I was very overweight. I was in pain every day. I didn't feel good. In fact, I hated waking up. I've said publicly many times that I was at the point where if I couldn't make a change somehow, I didn't want to wake up anymore. It's a true fact. I hated my life the way I was. So I decided I had to do whatever it took to change it. And the changes are worthwhile, let me tell you. Anyway, we'll stop gabbling on about why health's important. If anyone ever wants to ask any questions, put them in the comments. Send me a private message if you feel that's what you want to do. I'll answer any questions anyone asks about why health and fitness is important, or if you have a specific question related to anything health and fitness, I can either do it in a further video or answer it privately. Alright, let's get on with the training session. We're just going to have a little jog. If you're not up to jogging yet, that's fine. Walking's good. As I say, this video is going to cover all levels, from the most beginner, never done a thing in your life, through to slightly more advanced but still beginner. So anyway, little jog. Whew. If that wore you out, whew, that's fine. We'll go for a little walk again. Walk for another 30 seconds or a minute, and then we'll go for a little jog. Doesn't have to be fast. Nice steady jog. Again, if you're puffed out, it's all right. We'll just walk a little bit. Whew. And so on and so forth. And each day you'll gradually get a little bit further and go a little bit longer. And that's what it's all about. Gradual, steady, ongoing, increasing and becoming better you. A better you today than you were yesterday, and a better you tomorrow than you are today. A couple of little things. We don't need much. So I said this is a no equipment thing. So when I say a couple of little things, it's not about equipment. It's just a couple of little things to keep you comfortable. One thing you definitely want is a water bottle. So water, and I've just got some electrolytes in there. Electrolytes are really good. We could all be using electrolytes. So electrolytes are good, especially during training. Another thing, cars was driven in here. I want to talk about that actually. That just reminded me of something. A lot of people are going to say, I can't just pull up in a park or a park and bay, truck stop, wherever it might be. You can't pull up and train. You know what the gloves for? We'll have to wait. Can't pull up and train. It's embarrassing. What if someone sees me? Oh, and I know that because this is exactly how I thought too. And you know what? If you see someone doing this at a park, do you give them a second thought? Let's say you're in the camp and says, yeah, I think they look stupid. How long do you hold that thought for? 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 30 seconds? Tomorrow you're going to remember that person yesterday? Who was that person? That's right, you don't know. That's the minority. And who cares? It doesn't matter. If someone thinks you're an idiot, whatever, that's their business. You don't have to worry about it. However, more importantly and more likely, people are going to go, oh, what's that guy doing? Oh, he's a truck driver out there training. How good is that? Good on him. He's looking after himself, making himself a better person. You know what? If he can do it, maybe I can do it. That's what it's all about. All right, equipment. Water bottle, like I said, electrolytes. Gloves. What do you want gloves for? So we all know truck park and bays can be dirty places sometimes. We're going to do a few little things that involve being on our hands. So you want a jumper, t-shirt for summer. It's freezing cold at the moment. Just, oh, look, someone's spat on the ground or a bird or something. We're going to move the camera over here. So, there's a bit of glass and stuff here. It's not ideal, but that's the point. All right. Just going to do a couple of real basic movements. Got the body warmed up a little bit from a slow walk and a jog. One of the most simple things we're still warming up is just star jumps. Warms everything up, legs, shoulders, everything. Bit of jogging on the spot. Get the knees up as high as you can. Whew. All right, do that for 30 seconds to a minute. Your heart rate up a little bit. Another thing I want to talk about actually while I'm thinking about it is tracking your progress. And look, you can do that as simply as get an exercise book from the shop. They cost 30 or 40 cents, and just write down each day what you've done. Better way is to get yourself a smartwatch. I don't know them all. I only know two, and that's the Apple Watch and the Garmin. Both track exceptionally well, have really good apps and third-party apps you can use to track. Today I'm wearing an Apple Watch for no particular reason over the Garmin. I do prefer the Garmin, but I have the Apple Watch because I do a lot of running, and I don't like carrying a phone when I run. The Apple Watch gives me the ability, if I had an emergency, I can make a phone call, and I can also listen to music with the Apple Watch through my iTunes account. So that's why I use that. Anyway, we're warmed up. First thing we're going to do is some squats. Now, a good squat, and we're not aiming for a good squat on your first day by any means, about shoulder width apart. Everyone's going to be very slightly different. Your body mechanics are going to be a little bit different. For the most part, you're going to have your shoulder width apart, toes pointed slightly out. If you can Google kids, toddlers, do the best squats in the world. Why? Because no one's told them how to do it They just do it naturally. That's exactly what we're looking for. Natural, whatever is natural for your body. So for me, it's going to be shoulder width apart, toes pointed slightly out, and we're going to squat. The depth matters. Not because arse to grass is where you want to be, and for those, arse to grass is literally getting as low as you can. As it says, your arse to the grass. That's not going to be everybody's perfect squat, particularly early on. For some people, it may only be that much range of motion on day one. And that's fine. If that's all you can do, that's great. Let's do some squats. For those that can go a bit lower, that's great. Keep your chest proud and up, your back straight. So we don't want to be squatting like this. If you're squatting like that, you're going too deep. You've got to let your body adjust. So we can use our arms to help us if you need to, or you can hold them like this, which makes it a bit tougher, or another variation which will be coming in more advanced times is an overhead squat, which is really good for your legs and your core. Is an overhead squat, so you'll be holding some weights. Again, this is a no equipment video, but just getting used to that. So anyway, let's do some squats. Let's start with 10 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another thing with squatting, we're not just going to bash them out. We're trying to do quality over quantity if need be. Quality is key. How to do a good squat. So we talked about your body mechanics. Once we've got the body mechanics that suit ourselves, what is a good squat? Control the negative. So that's coming down. This is the negative portion of the squat. Control that. And then launch up. And I don't mean launch so you're coming off the ground, but we control the down. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Another thing I'm really big on, knee health. I suffer from bad knees, well, particularly my left knee. So knee health's good, and this is another thing about doing deep squats. Right now with my knee the way it is, I actually can't struggle to arse to grass squat. So what we're not going to do is at the top of the squat, we're not going to roll the knee that last bit to what is a lockout. That rolling of the knee is bad on the meniscus and cartilage. So we come down, we come up to that there. So we're pretty straight legged, but we're just not rolling that knee. And that becomes more important the heavier weight you're squatting. So whether that be like me, you're overweight, or you're squatting heavy weights, that rolling of the knee is really bad. That's really, really important that you don't do that. Again, you're better off going too shallow and holding good form, because again, we're exercising not to become bodybuilders or power lifters, we're exercising for our own health and longevity of quality of life into longevity. So let's do the squats. Our next simple exercise is going to be push-ups. The push-ups can vary greatly. You know what, if you've got really low strength, table. You get a bit stronger, come down to the chair. Bit stronger. Don't cut yourself on glass and stuff. Another thing you can do, if you're not up to, if you want to do push-ups off the ground, again, make sure there's nothing. Come to your knees. Concrete's not advisable. Pants, knee pads, grass, carpet, but you can push up on your knees. So let's do 10 of those. 10 push-ups, however you need to do to start them. The next one we're going to do is target the core. No, we're not doing sit-ups. Find yourselves a nice little pad to lie down. Do it on the ground if the ground's more suitable than where I am. So we're lying on our back. If need be, put your feet up. And what we're doing there is a shortened version of a leg raise. So this is what the ultimate goal we want to achieve is this, a leg raise. But to make it easier, and as many as you can do in the set. So all this is going to hurt a little bit, and then you stick with it. In a few weeks I'm going to tell you it's meant to hurt, and it really is, and it's going to hurt. If it doesn't hurt, you're not quite going hard enough. And by that I don't mean dying in pain. When you get very advanced, that's where you aim to be. But exercise is meant to hurt. It's not meant to be particularly easy. That's the whole idea. You're challenging your body to be stronger than it is. So that's why it's meant to hurt. Just a little to start with. Nothing too extreme. So far we've got some squats. We've got some push-ups. And we've got some leg raises. What's next? Okay, this one's probably not going to be super easy for everyone, depending on where you are. But step-ups. Swap leg. Lead with the right. And you can just do continually leading with the right, then swap. Lead with the left. Or you can alternate. So right, down, left, down, right. Now, again, that's not going to be an everyday thing. If you haven't got someone to step up, that's fine. Find something else. No, not find something else. We'll do something else. But if you've got a little step, wherever you are, and look around, great. If you haven't, don't stress. Okay, the next one. All been too easy for you? We're going to throw in a slightly advanced one just for you then. If all that was too easy, to finish the session off, everyone can do this. How well they do it will depend on where you're at. Burpees. Everyone loves to hate burpees. Why? Because they're hard to do and they get the heart rate screaming. They're a good all body workout too. So let's show you a couple of burpees. We're going to do them in the grass. So from a standing position, we come down to our hands, throw our feet behind us, do a push up, feet up, stand, jump, hands overhead. Everyone hates burpees, except for about 1/4% of people. Anyway, but they are really good for you. Not everyone's going to be able to do a full burpee like that. So let's break it down into a more simple version. We're going to tuck down on our feet, 1 step, 2 step, push, knees to push up, step in, stand up, jump. Step, step, push up off the knees, step, step. And if that gets your heart rate up and your body moving, that is perfect. That is an exceptionally good finishing exercise. So we look at the time. I've only been exercising 7 minutes. We do it again. Let's do it again. Again, the reps don't matter. It's how many you can do to your almost failure. Whew, geez, I'm bucketed. Let's do some push-ups. Whew. All right, some leg raises. Oh, I'm getting tired. Let's bend the knees a bit. Make it a bit easier. Because we want to push a bit harder. Whew. Alright, we're in a full knee bend, but we're pushing the core. Whoa. Oh my God, my core is killing me. Whew. Alright, let's do some burpees to finish. What? My chest didn't touch the ground on that last one. It doesn't count. Come on, really? Alright, I'll do it again. Happy? Okay. Oh man. I am buggered. But I feel great. In 20 minutes, I'm going to feel better. And when I'm pulling out of Melbourne, or Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth, Darwin, Hobart, Canberra, I think I got everywhere, maybe not, well the capitals. I'm pulling out of there, I'm looking at the town that I hate being in, or the city I hate being in. I see it in the mirrors, I start feeling good. I'm going to reflect as I hit the highway about what I did today. I'm going to think, man, I did that today. How good was that? I'm going to do that tomorrow because I feel really good for it. And that's the key. So there'll be more videos with some more explanations. But those 4 movements are going to get you started. And they're going to be great movements to build all over strength in the very beginning. Every day, 10 to 15 minutes. If you commit to yourself doing that every day, in a couple of weeks, I promise you will feel better. Let's talk about some pain you're going to feel afterwards. Everyone's going to feel a little bit of pain. They're called DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. So you're going to sore quads from the squats. Your abs are going to feel a bit sore from the leg raises. Chest is going to feel sore from the push-ups. Shoulders might feel a bit sore too, although you haven't really worked direct shoulder there, but there's everything's going to hurt a little bit. And that's okay. If tomorrow you're a little bit stiff, the day after you might be a bit stiffer. Do what you can. Still do something. If you're squatting to here today and your quads are absolutely on fire, just do partial reps tomorrow. Still do it. That's the key. Is to still do it. Just do partial. But the other thing is movement. Go for a walk. Walking's great. Chest. Do a bit of this while you walk. And the ever important stretching. And some basic stretches that you can do. Actually, no, what? Tell you what. Do just a couple of very quick stretches. Bend over. Hamstring stretch as far as you can. Further you can go, the better. You get flat hands like that, you're doing very well. But if you can only get to here, that's fine. As long as you feel a stretch in the hamstrings, and just hold it. Do this after your training, not before. Stretch on. So static stretches, and static stretches where you hold the stretch for a length of time. do that on warm muscles, not cold muscles. And a static stretch on the hamstring. Another one, arm across the across the chest. Hold it with the other arm. Should feel stretch through here. Loosen it up. And a quad stretch. Lying on your side is probably going to be the easiest for a lot of people. If you've got something you can hold on to, and you can grab your foot, you'll feel that up through here. Terrific. If you can do that, fantastic. If you can't, lie on your side, same thing. If you've got to put your knee up a bit to get it, whatever, doesn't matter. Wherever you feel a good stretch, lower your leg down as you get more advanced, and then pull harder on your foot to feel the stretch through your quad, and hold that for 20 to 30 seconds per static stretch. And swap sides. And back, single leg knee stretch is good. Swap sides. Okay, and for the truckies and office workers and anyone sits down, what's called upward dog. Start on your belly, toes pointed out, you probably can't see them because they're blocked. Push yourself up, keeping your pelvis on the floor, arching your back and looking up. You should feel a good stretch in your back. This is one of those stretches that truck drivers should be doing every single day. Looking into the sun, getting that morning vitamin D. Another one is the downward dog. Again, it's a hamstring stretch, a bit of shoulder. So there's a couple of stretching movements to do at the end of your training session. 10 minutes training, 5 minutes stretching every single day for the first couple of weeks, and we build from there. But if you can do 14 days in a row of exactly what I just did, 4 movements, 4 stretches, 10 minutes and 5 minutes, I'll tell you what, I'll even say your first 5 minutes walking with some jogging in between counts as the 10 minutes. So we walk and jog for 5 minutes, we do a couple of those exercises for 5 minutes, then we stretch for 5 minutes, 15 minutes total. That's it, 15 minutes every day for 14 days. Let me know if you complete the challenge.